for content strategy, you guys crush it on the clips, the shorts, posting so much. Do you think that played a huge factor into the blow up of it?
I definitely think so. Because, there's that classic kind of marketing technique or like lesson that people teach where it's like you need 7 touch points on average to convert a customer.
Can you explain what that is?
So the 7 touch points are like a person has to be exposed. I'm going to use it in terms of like a product, or a service. A person has to be exposed to your product 7 times on average before they commit to buying it, right? So whether they see it in a TV commercial, on a billboard, in a newspaper flyer, or something like that, right? There are these different touch points where people see your product and then they'll convert. And so we kind of took that lesson and applied it to the podcast, where it's like, if we just pump out clips, the more people see it, eventually they'll be like, okay, well, I've seen 100 clips of these guys. I might as well check out the podcast, and see what all the hype is about, especially if some of these clips go like viral or whatever. They get so many views or so many likes. They're like, well, people seem to really like this. Let me check out what this is all about. And so we adopted that strategy, and we're working with a company called Media Scaling that does a lot of our clips. They do something like 1,500 clips a month. Yeah. And so it is just like, it's kind of like overloading the system. And I know it's working, because they keep like a very detailed tracker of like how many views, how many likes, how many followers, like the growth of it all. And since we started, I think last August or October, we're about to cross almost like 1 billion views across like all of our shorts, or like our short form content. And, so if you think about it, it's like you need 7 touch points. Like, how many people have, out of that 1 billion views, has that converted, and now it's like anywhere we go, the first thing that people say is like, I see your clips everywhere. And so that's how I know it's working, and, some people stick to just the clips. Some people then convert or whatever, but either way, people are being exposed to it. And so that's definitely like helped the explosion of the podcast recently.
So is the central nucleus of your guys' entire company the podcast, and then you pull out the live show, the Patreon, the clips, the shorts?
Yeah. So it's like it's all centered around the main podcast, and then the Patreon is to like give additional content for like the diehard fans, and it's like, it's kind of like a thank you for supporting us, and then also it like helps us grow the show, because we are just constantly reinvesting the money that we make into the show, which is why we're able to like start the media company, and then grow podcasts from that, or be able to like travel to these live shows, because at this point we're not like taking money from the podcast yet, and so like, at least not that much. Like, I take enough to like sustain myself, but I'm not giving myself a big payday. Zach's not giving himself a big payday, but it's like, it's all centered around this podcast. And then the live shows are to give people like the unique experience, and then, make those people diehard fans. And so it's just like, yeah, it's all one big nucleus.